Also wanted to show you some other upgrades I did. Cut some holes in my bumper and put these D2 flush mounts in there. I actually did this on my previous Ram, but I did it with some $20 cheap eBay lights. And so this time I decided I was going to go rigid on everything. If you wonder why, you can check out my other video where I compare some of the new rigid D2 Pros to a 42-inch light bar. It's really no contest. You do get what you pay for. I actually got a sweet deal on these off of Amazon. One is actually a flood pattern or a wide pattern, and then the other is actually a driving pattern. But I got the pair. I had to mix them up in two different orders, but I ended up getting the pair for a little bit less than $150. I also did something that I did on my last truck, and I have a set of the rigid D2 diffuse lights, and I have those welded underneath my truck pointing down. And so that's a pretty wide beam, and so it casts a pretty good amount of light. I'll turn these on so we can see what they look like. We'll do a shot of these when it gets dark as well. So if you see, that casts a pretty good beam of light under the truck. That helps in a couple of ways. Number one, you can see your wheel when you're backing up. Number two, these shine out, and so you can see just a little bit that these are bright. You won't be able to see anything else till nighttime. But you see the pattern under here? This really helps if you're hooking up a trailer at night because the light is coming off the ground, and so you can see to get your pin, your hitch, everything how you need it. These are really good, but they project outward. Even if they're the diffuse here, it's just how the bumper is. So these are good for going out. This is good for lighting the ground around you. So pretty pleased with that lighting upgrade, and I'll show you guys what it looks like at night when it gets dark. All right, guys, back out here after dark, and thought I'd show you what these lights look like. Go ahead and turn the rear lights on. And so you can see that puts a pretty good beam on the ground there, and it's a good spread. And these shoot out in the way the pattern is, so they don't really blind you if you're standing right here, but the light does go out quite a bit. Of course, it is always hard to get this on camera to see how good the pattern actually is. But that's what the bottom looks like. So it gives you good wheel visibility down here from inside the cab, and just does a really good job. I did it on my last truck, and I really like the results. One thing you can see if you look at those beam patterns, just a little bit different. That's the difference between the driving and the wide. What you have right here is the wide, and that's the driving pattern. So let me turn that off and shoot it downrange so you can see kind of the difference. No lights, and then lights. So lights it up pretty good. It's probably overkill having D2s for backup lights, but actually the cost, it was cheaper than actually getting smaller lights that didn't have as much light output. And here's what the light actually looks like inside the cab. Now with the backup camera, it's hard to tell on the screen, but I can see pretty well with that to back up. When you turn this on, in the short term, it's a little bright, but way back behind you in these trees and places like that, you can see a lot better if you have that on. I'm not sure why you would need that, but I normally don't use this if I'm trying to use the camera. What I'm looking for is, I'm trying to find a good shot of my mirror there. It's hard to see. Let me roll the window down a little bit. So you can see in the mirror, that's what I'm going for. So, because I back trailers up sometimes at night, and so the more light the better with that.